What are macros or macronutrients? You may have heard this term thrown around social media. You may have heard me talk about it a ton, but let's give you the basics of what macros are and help you feel more comfortable with this understanding, because macronutrients are the key parts that make up the foods you're eating. Macronutrient grams are what contribute the calories or the total energy in the foods you're eating. So all of these foods here, which I just randomly pulled out of the fridge, things that I've prepped and things that I eat all the time, each one is going to fall into a different food category of macronutrient groups. We have 3 macros. We have protein, we have carbs, and we have fats. Now here at the Power Foods Lifestyle, we have a 4th category that's not a macronutrient, but it is a key compartment of foods that we really try to bring into our lifestyle, which is vegetables. So I would like to show you just a few basic foods I have in my kitchen that I regularly use in my food, my nutrition, everything that I do on a daily basis. And I'd like to explain the key fundamental things that that macronutrient group does in your body. As you start learning about how food works in your body, you're then going to take that step into becoming where I would like you to get, which is a strategist. As a strategist of your health, you will have the education and the knowledge and the wherewithal to think through things and find answers for yourself with your health, whether it's better moods, whether it's better digestion, whether it's to feel more energy, more endurance, less headaches. Like, we can solve so much in your body with real food, and I get super excited about it because I get to help people change their lives. I can't do it for you, but I can teach you and I can encourage you, and I love success stories. So I share this information freely with you to help you out. So you are in 101 of our macros education. So let's start with protein. Protein is going to start out like this. It's bundled up fibers and amino acids, okay? And then when you eat a protein, it's going to uncoil or denature into its individual subset of amino acids. Each of these amino acids in your body has a different role, and your body is going to take each one and build them up in different ways to be what your body needs, whether it's hair, whether it's skin, whether it's nails, whether it's tissues, whether it's muscle. Like, that is the building blocks of your body. So you've got to have protein. Now, it doesn't need to be an exorbitant amount, no, but I will teach you more about that later down the road. For right now, let's just know protein is essential. It's going to help anchor your blood sugar. It's critical for rebuilding your body and providing nourishment to your brain for neurotransmitter production. Here's a few basics I have in my home: cage-free eggs, natural turkey, no nitrates, no preservatives. This is food prepped ground turkey breast. I get 93%. No need to go crazy 99%. First of all, it's way more expensive. Second of all, no taste. Third of all, when you strip all animal fat from a food, you don't have enough of what it takes to build vitamin A, which is an essential vitamin for your body. I personally use Isagenix. I am a distributor. If you're interested in getting protein from me or becoming a distributor yourself, just hit me up later. Not a big pusher of it, I just love it, I use it, and I tell you about it. So another type of protein I use is J-Rub. If you want to know all the proteins that I recommend, because not one protein is for everyone. I recommend a certain plant-based protein, a certain egg protein, certain proteins for athletes, certain meal replacements, then simply go to powerfoodslifestyle.com/protein. And that'll have all the information there, as well as some information of what you need to know to choose a quality protein and not make the mistakes of buying the basically sawdust proteins that are on the market. We have to be very careful. So there's a few of our proteins. Oh, one other protein, this works well for me, does have soy in it for anybody with hypothyroidism, any thyroid issue. We want to try and stay away from soy, but the amount is very small here. We don't want to overdo tuna. We'll talk more about the specificities later, but an on-the-go protein works very well there. Our next category of food is carbohydrates. Now, carbs get the bad rap, and when you read my book, The Power Foods Lifestyle, which I know you will because you want to learn, then you're gonna learn that it really depends on your body, your disposition, your genetics, your upbringing, your level of insulin resistance, your metabolism, your activity level to determine if carbs are right or wrong for you. The end. So, on one hand, we have to choose carbs that are more complex. Now, I don't believe in any bad food. So trust you me, this week I've already eaten Doritos and Teddy Grahams in strategy. And I would love to teach you more about my indulgent strategies of Abstainer and Moderator later. Right now, I'll just show you some basic carbs I have in my home. This is black quinoa. Nothing wrong with normal quinoa. I just happened to buy black quinoa this week. Strawberries. Fruits are carbs. Sweet potato. That's already like microwaved and soft. Grapefruit. So fruits, any of our greens families. I'm not a huge gluten person just because it's by default, because I happen to choose more non-gluten foods because that's what I eat. So quinoa, lentils, beans, fruits, gluten-free oats. Nothing wrong with whole grain products. I just find that when I choose these foods, they feel better in my body. Later, I would love to teach you about how to know if you should be avoiding gluten or if it's not as big a deal as the hype out there is. Okay? All right, so carbohydrates, what do they do? Well, they have two purposes. Number one is to fuel your brain with glucose. That's your brain's primary fuel source. Also to fuel your muscles. Carbs are, or carbohydrates, your body's number one fuel source. So if you cut carbs too quickly without proper strategy, you will feel like this. Have you ever done that? Yeah, there is rhyme and reason if you choose to go low carb eventually. I would love to teach you later. So carbohydrates are essential for fueling your brain. Does that mean you have to have carbs to fuel your brain? No, there's secondary ways too. Again, strategies for later. But recognize the second reason for carbs is they taste great and they are delicious. So psychological reasons. I believe in sustainability. Don't believe in some optimal path that's gonna be impossible for you to achieve. Therefore, we want a more sustainable path. That's why we don't kick out any food. We learn about it, we learn its properties, and if the food comes back to a high glucose or carbohydrate, carbohydrates break down to sugars, which is glucose. It's all one and the same. The baked potato, the Pop-Tart, the cookie, the bagel, the grapefruit. I mean, there's a lot of different things to consider, but at the end of the day, sugar is sugar is sugar. Now, if I had longer with you, I would go into the difference between glucose and fructose and the fruits. And so, yes, I did say the fruit in that breakdown, but just think of it that way. It's better, it's easier for your brain to think about, okay, glucose is glucose is glucose. What's the amount? Is it fueling my brain? Do I need it for energy, brain function, or satisfaction in small amounts? If not, you don't need them. There you go. Next, let's talk about fats. So some basic fats I have in my home. Sliced almonds, avocado oil, peanut butter, olives. This is Holy Guacamole. I like this brand. They make guac and avocado very passable because sometimes you don't eat the avocado fast enough and it goes bad, and I like Holy Guacamole. They make my life easier. So there's some of our fats, okay? And actually I brought into this, go figure, because this is my house, 3 of our top power fats: olives, a healthy oil, avocado oil. That also includes coconut oil, olive oil, flaxseed oil. I also have basil oil, walnut oil in the cabinet. If you want a list of the best top power foods, I have that for you for free at powerfoodslifestyle.com/self-training, or you can just click the link. So that is gonna make your grocery shopping easy because I have printed out lists back in my years of trying to figure this all out before it just really made sense to me. And I would print out these lists and they were just too long, and they were like, it just was too overwhelming. Do you know that feeling? So I try to make it really simple for you. My foods list that you're going to print is not finite, but it is the starting point to then being able to expand and critically look at a food and say, is this more of a carb, a protein, or a fat? Here's the fact, and I'm sorry if you're not Christian, I am. God doesn't make carbs and fats together. He makes proteins, carbs, and fats. There are a few exceptions with like some fatty fish or fatty beef and things like that. But if you really look at any food, natural power foods are macronutrient dense in one of those 3 categories. When we understand how macronutrients work in the body and each of their roles, I'll come back to fats in a minute, you can start pairing nutrients in a way that will help you eliminate body fat, will help your brain function better, help clear up digestion, will help you just be happier. Like, it's incredible. So really quick on fats. A lot of people are scared of fats. No, you don't need to be. That was like totally disillusioned information from the 1990s. So I'm here to tell you the truth as of today. So I should have put my grass-fed butter up here. That's a great one too, contrary to many people who maybe grew up thinking that was a bad thing. So Fats have a really special power that they help release the hormone cholecystokinin, CCK, which helps tell your brain you're full. If you are not getting enough fat in your diet, you're probably hungry, which means you're probably overeating your carbs, which probably means that you are absorbing a lot of sugars, which probably means your blood sugar is up, cholesterol is up, and body fat is up. Unless you're an ectomorph, then maybe just your cholesterol is up. What's an ectomorph? Oh, like very tall, slender, high metabolism, always hungry, yet your cholesterol is high and you can't put on muscle. I have so much to teach you and I'm so excited. So this was our Macronutrients 101 class. I would love to be able to show you how I would make these into a meal called PVC or PVF or PVCF. So all you have to do is click the button below and I'll bring you into part 2 of our macronutrient training with the Power Foods Lifestyle.